Hey there, creatives! Welcome back to 2025 in our design studio, where today we are finally getting the opportunity to create the second of the two signs that you guys voted on. So many of you really wanted to do the classic Valentine's Day love letter, so that is what we're going to be working on today. But before we get started, a couple housekeeping items. Number one, if you want to save a copy of this tutorial, want to do a quick copy paste, just hit the share button down below. If you are on YouTube and watching this, all you have to do is click your save button and you will have a copy of this video available for you. Now, if you were want to get your notifications turned on when I go live, what you will want to do, Facebook users, make sure you have followed this page, right? Like the page. I think like is what shows up. Follow is what's hidden. But when you are on a live video, let me see if I can do this from the live, right? If I'm on live, I'm on live right now, right? You're watching the video, right? You're gonna click those three little buttons, three little things at the top. They're up here. This isn't doing it for me. Three little things down here at the bottom. Still not doing it for me. So hang on just a second. When you are on my Facebook page, there is generally a like button, and you will make sure that you liked the page. And then right here, these three little dots off to the side, you're going to click on that, and you're just going to make sure that your notifications is turned on. So if it says turn notifications off, you've got them turned on. Don't touch anything. You need to do that for everybody that you want to receive notifications on when they go live. That's how you do it, really simply stated. And every time Facebook does an update, you're going to need to reset those things. And I don't know if you guys have seen Mark Zuckerberg's 5-minute testimonial on how they're going and revamping Facebook, taking out all the fact checking, all the stuff, giving greater visibility to content that they were suppressing before, which is great news for all of us, because we all, they said they were trying to do it to be more inclusive, but didn't realize that by being more inclusive, they were actually excluding a lot of people. And so they're revamping everything. So huge thumbs up on that. So that's great news. Private group is open and we have expanded. So now private group membership also includes the virtual Wreath of the Month group. You don't have to pay anything extra for that. Now you get 2 in 1. And what the Wreath of the Month group is, we focus on a design just for that 1 month, and it's seasonally based. And then you get all the materials up front. You don't have to pick those materials. You can opt for substitutions. And then at the end of the month, we get together and we put it all together in like a virtual live class just for group members. So if you're interested, go to KatsCreationsNMore.com and sign up now. Also, we started War Room training. So every Monday at 10, I was going to call it 10 for 10, which is we're going to get together for 10 minutes. We're going to pray about our businesses, our families, our communities, whatever you need prayer requests on. We're going to pick a scripture. We're going to talk about it. And then we're going to pray through that scripture about setting a different tone for 2025. So for me, it's going bolder. It's going bigger. And so that's what we're starting there with the private group. So I wanted to encourage and invite you guys to do that. Let me go ahead and just pin that down below. And we've started our Back to Basics classes in a mega way. Like, I've gotten so much feedback from group members that they love the changes that are happening. They are getting so much more additional support, whether they're need help on marketing or online business stuff, or just struggling in a design aspect. That is all benefiting them this year. Trying to get it to pin. Okay, pinned. I'm going to go ahead and flip you down. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to cover all the materials. And no, I have not had too much coffee. I'm just in a really great mood. And it's super cold outside. So, flipping you down. Hang tight. We're going for a ride. Okay. And I don't even have this wreath listed. That's what I was meant to do. I got tied up in a phone call with my grandson. So, needless to say, we had our priorities straight. So we're doing a Dollar Tree 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. I'm color coordinating this red and white for Valentine's Day, obviously. We're going to be using this sign, which is just drop dead gorgeous. It is To My Valentine at Sweetheart Street. Return address is Cupid and Company, 214 Darling Drive. Special delivery for February the 14th. So this you can pick up at Craft Outlet if there's any left. I've had a lot of people ask. It's a 6 by 12 inch sign. That is our design inspiration. We are going to be using a wide foil, red Deco mesh. I tried to set, for some reason, red does not like to pop up. I think it has to do with our fluorescent lightings. Red comes like through as yellow. Or not yellow, orange. It's got like an orange tinge to it. So I kept playing with all the settings, trying to find the reddest red I could find. So we're going to be doing Cruffles. So our Deco mesh will be cut to 25-inch pieces. You can get that at Craft Outlet. Ribbon selection, we have a lot. Because you know me, it's all about the ribbon. So we have a pink 2.5-inch. We also have a red. I'm going to show it to you in the stack here. I actually ran out, so we're substituting this pattern in the bow for a different red with hearts. So these are popping up in the bows, but this is the choice for our ribbon tails. So far everything is from Craft Outlet. We're pairing that with the I Love You on red. This is a brand new ribbon this year. This is that pink color that is in this sign a little bit. It's a little bit deeper, darker. But this has it has the lips, it has the hearts, it has little letters, envelopes, Be Mine, Valentine, all the things. Pairing that with the envelopes in different colors of pink, red, white, and maroon. And then, ta-da, we have, I call this lines and squiggles. So that's what this is. So these are the ribbon combinations that are going to go into our bows. In addition to that, we have some fun embellishments that probably came from Michael's, I'm guessing. I've had these embellishments for about, 8 years or so. So we're going to be adding these fun, they look like little rose, they're hearts. So we're going to be adding these. I don't know if we're going to incorporate these, but I would certainly love to do so. It's little Cupids. It's kind of like a little vintage, because I kind of feel a little vintagey stuff kind of going on here. We're going to add this Valentine's Day heart, and I think that'll do it. Do you guys have any questions? Right? Is it, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Rocio? She said, yes, I totally love that sign. Is your grandson talking already? No, but he mumbles. But I pretend that I understand. So Rocio says, hello, Kat and everyone. I never catch the lives. I'm always watch the replay on YouTube. So happy to catch the lives. So happy to have you here. And we're ready to start. So we are going to finish wiring together our 14-inch Dollar Tree wreath frame. We are going to take a white pipe cleaner. We're going to go and wire in, I call this, the closer to the rail is to the center. That would be 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are wiring together rails 1 and 2. And I'm trying to keep my pipe cleaners even, so I have just the same length on both. Kind of pick right in the middle somewhere between the two welds is a perfect location. Then we're going to go ahead and do rails 3 and 4 to the outside. just like so. And then we're going to do it on the other side with the red. This just kind of helps me understand where the ribbon color combinations are going to go. This gives us 14 to the inside, or sorry, 18 total, 6 to the inside, 12 to the outside. So grand total of 18. And we're going to start with our Deco mesh, and we're going to cruffle this. So, okay, good. She said, yes, that's how you say it. Thank you for that. I always struggle with my name. LOL. I'm so glad that I can do that. My husband's usually really good at narrowing down that. So I'm always like, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, then just like write it phonetically for me. So I love that. So what you're going to do when you're starting your Cruffles, these are 25 inches. We're actually going to roll in the direction that the Deco mesh naturally wants to curl in. We're not going against the curl. It just makes it so much easier. And then usually what I do is put a weighted object on one end so it stops rolling forward. And then just to get the curl going. So these were all cut with a wood burning tool. But if we can confine the cut edges, it helps reduce the frays. So about an inch over is where you're going to start. Move your hands to the outside and you're going to roll 5 times. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I just usually get chip clips and stuff them to the outside. And then we're going to do it here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from here, I'm just going to pull that Deco mesh curl towards me. Just like that. And we are going to start with the inside. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these ones in first. And I'm going to, I'll show you this. So let me go ahead and twist, twist, twist and get these all the way off. Let's go ahead and snip that. I just snipped the remainder and then just push that little tail end back down. We're doing all solid red. So I'm doing the method I call the next one. So I started here. So the next pipe cleaner, next pipe cleaner, next pipe cleaner, next pipe cleaner. That's how I'm going to fill all these in. And this is where we get the fun interactive part where you guys get to talk to me as I am rolling the Deco mesh, because we've got a lot to roll. There's that one. Chip clippy it. And those clips you can get from the Dollar Tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you'll see some people when they do their Cruffle, they're not very, they're not precise. Like, it's just a casual method. And this one's a little bit more like, hey, I'm doing it 5 times each end, roll up the remainder to the center. And then the pipe cleaners that go on the outside, we're leaving on the outside because that's where we're going to add all of our ribbons and tails and embellishments and all the things. So we're going to the next one, which is the red. We've moved on into the section. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, little chip clip. And you don't even have to count. You could do 3 and 3. You could do 4 and 4. It's just enough for you to roll it so that it doesn't come loose when you go ahead and stick it in here. We don't want it to kind of come undone. So we're containing it. And I'm really cinching this one in because I kind of pushed it over a little closer. And you might look at that and go, wow, look at that gap. And it is. It's a huge gap. But once we start pushing all these back together, it is going to eliminate that. They have a tendency of sliding around. Elizabeth asked a great question. Where do you go to find out what we need for the Wreath of the Month? The supplies we will need. This one's going to be a little bit different. Elizabeth, normally I would just like post them and say like, here's where you can get all the supplies. Like go to Craft Outlet and order everything. But I really want to do a floral because we haven't done a floral like grapevine. And I was looking at the prices of the florals, and I can't really determine if they go good together based on what I'm seeing. So what I'm going to do this weekend is I'm going to go to Hobby Lobby. I might end up going to Michael's too. And I'm going to look for what I want to use. And then I will come back and give you all the item numbers, all the SKUs, all the things. Because what I was telling the group yesterday is you might not like what I've picked out. You might like something different. And it'll be as super simple as substituting. For example, if I say you need to have 3 main focal flowers, like a fairly large floral, pick any 3 you want, any colors. And then whatever your color palette is, I'm going to show you how to pick the color palettes in case you want to change it and do something else. And then I'm going to leave it up to you. You guys can decide if you want to stick with the same ones I'm going with, or you want to go with something different, or you might already have this stuff at home. So there's no cost in it for you. And then we get together at the end of the month and we put it all together. I show you how to take it in. I show you how to lay in all of your items. You might already have a grapevine handy. So for some of you, you might have all this stuff right now in your shop. I probably do, but I want it to be something that you guys can find too. So I'm going to try to go local source because I kind of felt like some of the florals were a little pricey and I like to be able to see them. And I'm pretty particular when it comes to florals. I need to see. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I need to see it. I need to see colors go good with other colors because in my mind's eye, I might think that that is one color pink, and in reality, it's something totally different. And now the colors are all off, and so it's going to look really weird. So I thought we'd do a shopping trip together, and I'll show you how I put together all my florals. So it's kind of like a virtual class within a class. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I'll be able to do that one live. I'm hoping, guys, let's pray. Facebook decides to change their policy for private groups, that we can go back to doing private groups the way we used to film them. And now, because Facebook suppressed, we have to go through weird third-party apps and companies and all kinds of stuff, and I'm just hoping it'll get much better. 2, 3, 4, 5. Florals are on sale this week. I looked, Diane, and I didn't see that. What I saw was that floral bunches, garlands, anything that would not be considered a floral accent was on sale. But I'm still going to Hobby Lobby. I think I'm going on Friday. God, it'd be great if I have someone to go with me, because it would just save me a trip. I just want to see. So I'm trying to read between the lines on Hobby Lobby's ad, and it seems like it's bushes, garlands, and swags, but not the actual individual stems. Can you guys double check that? Because I know everything in the spring shop is, but I don't know. It's kind of hard sometimes to read between their lines. And I think that's what I thought I saw. Is it's like all the greenery bushes, like it says, like bouquets are not included. And it said anything that is marked or labeled floral accent is not included. Which could still be beneficial. Possibly. I might just go do it anyway and say, so here's what we're gonna do. So if the greenery is on sale this week, that means the florals will be on sale next week. So either way, you should be able to get everything on sale way in advance of our Facebook Live. So you can see it's still, there's still open areas, but I'm going to show you how we fix those. This is generally the reason why I don't do Cruffles, is because it allows that little gap there. And some people might say, well, you could cut longer mesh, but you don't want to get into just constantly keep cutting more and more mesh. At this rate, you're already into it for 2 rolls. See how it just wants to springboard back? And like I said, this is the wide foil red Deco mesh that you can get from Craft Outlet. So are you going to check on that, Diane? If you have a Joann's near you, you should check out their florals. I don't have one near me, but it's as far away as the Hobby Lobby would be. So it's an hour from here. Because I live in a very small town. Very small. I should take you one of these days. We should all just go on a tour of exactly what. It says stems, bushes, and garlands. But then it's got that like little sub note that says floral accents not included. So I wonder what that is. I am super excited either way. That would work out for me, honestly. And then for whoever wouldn't be able to get there this weekend, usually it's every other week they toggle. So if those are on sale this week, from Monday through next Saturday, they won't be. But then the week after that, they should go back on sale again. At least that's how they used to do it. I think Hobby Lobby should go back to their 40% off again. That's my personal thing. All the other stores have coupons, and Hobby Lobby says, oh yeah, well, we keep our prices low so we don't have to run coupons. You know, and to a large extent they do, but everybody follows suit. So if Hobby Lobby puts spring merchandise on sale, well, Joann and Michaels are going to do it too. I need to take that one pipe cleaner off. I forgot to remove the one on the inside. So I need to take this one out. I forgot this one. Tuck. Okay. We need these out. And a lot of times the middle ones could be like, we can kind of maneuver them around so they all just kind of cover each other. It's just the way they all kind of just get sandwiched together. I like to have access points all the way around the outside, so when we are adding our ribbon tails and embellishments, we can see all of that stuff. So I'm not fighting it inside one of those cavities. So this is why you don't see me do Cruffles that often. But because our sign is smaller in width, I kind of felt like we could. I'm really trying to get those like tightly gathered together so that when I come in and put those in, we have a very nice tight fit. So you see how sometimes you can just kind of manipulate one to kind of go sideways and the other kind of goes up and down. You can bring one down here. Again, once we get them in, I still have 1, 2, 3, 6 more to add to this wreath base, and then we can fuss with it. 2, 5. Bushes, garlands, etc. See, that's what throws me. So I'm going to go and look. The only way we're going to ever really know is for someone to make a trip down there and see and know for sure. Like, somebody has to walk in and look at the florals in that floral section and see, does it say, like, are there big signs that say florals 40% off? Normally that's what you see in their ads. It'll say florals 40% off. Oops. So the why, right? Because I said that in 2025 we would talk a lot about whys. So why, Kat, did you choose red? When I put the sign up against white, it looked washed out. When I put it with a red and white mesh, it still looked weird. When I put it next to the red, it's like the sign does certain things when you lay it on top of different colors, meaning certain things may pop. It just looks like a better fit all the way around. Now keep in mind, on this sign, we're dealing with a tertiary color, which means hard to match. So it's like, this isn't a true pink, and even pink is like portions of red mixed with portions of white in varying degrees, which is why pink is so darn difficult. It's like one shade of pink might have one dollop of red more than the other does, and so that's why it doesn't look like the pink ribbon that you bought. It's funny. I think I have that same pink. Let me look. It's not even, I kind of want to call it Pepto pink because that's kind of what it looks like. It's not, it's like a blush color. Is what I'm thinking. Again, tertiary makes it difficult to match. So sometimes you just want to subdue it with colors you can match, like red or white. Okay, moving these over. 3 more to go. Plus, Cruffles take so much longer to make, except for the people who just like kind of curl the ends, hold them together, and just squish everything in the middle. I actually want it to look like I combined curls with a ruffle, and so that's where the more defined look is here. Okay, scissors. And I'm always trying to get like the smallest little spot in between so that when I add that to my pipe cleaner, it's nice and tight. Plop that in. I tried regular pink. Ugh. Regular pink that you can get as far as Deco pink did not go well with that at all. So normally, I would think, it's actually moving my scissors forward. It's not even like bubblegum pink. Oh, thank you, Diane, for sending me stars. What a sweetheart you are. think I'm just going to have to go and look. I'm trying to think. When do I have time? I'm like so booked now. It's like I have a little bit of time in the morning, but then it means that I have to come back and rush to do everything else in the afternoon. Maybe. My saving grace comes when somebody else goes, I went to Hobby Lobby and I can tell you what they have. And I'm like, great! You just saved me a trip. Thank you. Okay. This is my last one. Stick that in. Again, we're going to need some weight. Hold that down. Get this last one going. I can deal with that for a second. We'll squish this last one right inside here. Okay, so now it's just a matter of you like kind of picking and moving things around so that you have coverage in between everything. Sometimes it's just a matter of laying, you know, the center, let the center be the gap like it is on the ruffles. The rest of it is just, you know, just finagle it. So I'm just manipulating my curls to kind of fill the gaps in here. And so I'm trying to get the centers to stay in the center. And then making sure we have complete coverage everywhere for everything on every avenue. Okay, right there, we have a pretty good mix. It looks a little funky because I'm like, right here it just looks weird. I just have things kind of spread out. Let me slide a couple forward. Again, pushing the ones. If I push the center ones down, it pushes everything else to come up to the front. Just like so. Okay. So like there's our middle. Push it back so it'll push everything else up forward. Okay. I know it looks weird. It looks really weird. So let's go ahead and I'm going to add in all the outside tails and half bows. So I'm going to show you the color combinations we have. So the 2.5 inch pieces are cut to 14 inches. So like this is pink with red and white hearts on it, 14 inches for 2.5. And then it's going to be paired with this burgundy. It's kind of like the same color almost that I'm wearing. It has got little envelopes with little hearts on it with glitter. 1.5 inch cut to 19 inch pieces. So these are the combo. And then we have the red and white hearts on red with that little bit darker tertiary pink. And this has like the love, the lips, the envelopes, the hearts, everything. So those are the two combos. So this is how they go in. They're all dovetailed already. So we're just going to fold in half so that I know this is exactly the middle. So I'm going to take the pink and put it every single place there is a white pipe cleaner. So placing that right inside. And then I'm just going to fan my ribbon tails to the outside. If they don't want to lay flat, it's generally because that center section of Cruffles is kind of pushing through. So just tuck them back underneath. And then we are going to take the envelopes, dovetail edges together. We're going to go up about 2 inches and you're going to gather in, just like pleat it. 2 inches. That is going right in the center of your pipe cleaner. And we're going to remove whatever is left on the pipe cleaner, and then I'm going to take that little end and I'm going to drag it around and tuck it into the back. Then I'm going to open the loop. I have one side that's a right side and one side that is the wrong. So I'm going to flip the wrong side around. And there is my first ribbon combination with a tail and a half bow featured in the same. Now, here we're going to do the exact same thing. This is where all the red are going to go. So we're going to take our red tails, fold it in half, right up the center. Everywhere there's a red pipe cleaner, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tuck that in. We're going to fan it out. We're going to bring the dovetailed ends together, go up, then pinch in, place that inside, cut off what remains of our pipe cleaner, go around the back, open the front, right side your wrong part of your tail, and then fan those out too. Just like so. Okay, now that also starts to fill everything else. That also fills your gaps in between everything. So we're going to keep doing this until we get this all the way around the outside. Same method. Fanning that out. Making our half bow. Laying that right on the inside. Couple twists. Remove the excess. Tuck the end to the back so we don't see that. And then when you open it up, you shouldn't see the pipe cleaner there anymore. And I'm just maneuvering my Cruffles through there. So if there's any gaps that I can see, I'm just moving to close those gaps. And again, you'll be fussing with ribbons until the very, very end. Don't know how that got in there. There's like a ribbon tail in there. Or not a ribbon tail, a pipe cleaner. Okay, there's that. See, here's our inside is coming to the top. So I'm just going to move this out of the way so now that can lay more flat. We're going to squish in. Place that inside. Hi, Valerie. How are you? Okay, so again, and you can just take and place whatever you want preferred on the top. Like if you want more pink or more red, you can make that more predominant as far as the ribbon that is featured on that. And we're going to go ahead and gather. Place this right on the inside. Fan that out. Now, if you don't have an 1.5 inch ribbon, you could use flex tubing at this point. Nice! Mailing a New Year's wreath tomorrow. That's interesting. Are they just going to keep it up for the whole month of January? I'm like, New Year's is kind of over. But maybe they want it for next year. Congratulations. Okay. I like bringing that pink back up to the top. So that's what you'll see me constantly maneuver. And I like the little envelopes to the top. So my ribbon tails are more like, they're just fun filler. So like right there, I had to move my inside cruffle to the bottom so that I can get this to lay on top of that, just like that. This was the one that I wanted to do when we did the poll. And it's funny because the reason why I bought the Hello Sugar one is because I thought I had purple cupcakes. Turns out I didn't. But I still like the way that one turned out anyway. Okay, now we're bringing those cruffled edges back to the center. I want this one to go under. There we go. And this one to tuck up and under this. And I'll bring this back to the front. And I still like the pink over the red. Okay, tucking in. I'm so jealous. We have a new coffee house and bakery that just opened here in our very small town, and I didn't even notice until later on in the day, but because they always sell out of all their stuff before like 10, they had cookie dough chocolate chip cookies. So the frosting on it was like cookie dough. Ooh, I didn't want to twist that many times, just once. And I cut this one off, and I cut this one off. Oh lordy, I've been cutting all these off. Oh yes, I do. I want them cut. What am I thinking? I was like, wait a minute. No, Kat. Yes, you do. You know what you're doing. They also have one that's like strawberry shortcake. They said it tastes just like the ice cream that you would get from the ice cream man back in the day when trying to get this one to go over here. The ones that had the little pink crumbs on the end. I was like, I would have gotten both of those. But it's probably good I didn't see them. I'm trying to make smarter choices in 2025. Trying to, anyway. It doesn't help when my husband brings home stuff. I'm like, why did you bring this home? Thank you, but why? I think it's so he doesn't have to eat it alone. I always say it saves calories if I split it with you. I get a 50-calorie reduction if I share it with you. Okay. So there's this one, and I want to pull this to the top. And I'm still fluffing out the holes. But it looks so festive. Hi, Luann. Welcome. Do we have anyone that is joining us for the very first time? So now I'm going to have to watch that site the cookie site, the bakery site. They have like these monster cinnamon rolls that literally are big enough for 2 people to eat. We went there to support them when they opened, and they like sold out within like the first, I think they said like the first hour or two. And they were like, well, we didn't know how many to make, so we didn't want to make too many and be stuck with them, which I get. It is cut to 25-inch pieces, so right in between your guess of 20 and 30. So 25-inch Cruffles. It will take 2 rolls of Deco mesh, and you'll have some left over. So again, pushing that one under because it's not letting my ribbon lay flat. We're coming around the final home stretch. Okay. Right side. And I'm getting this one to come up. That comes into the middle. Okay. We have 2 combos left. So the last one of each combination, and then we can move on. I'm going to pull this one forward a bit. There we go. And I don't know if the burgundy Merlot color is still available. I think I've had that from a couple of years ago. It didn't really have anything to put it on. Because again, tertiary color. Okay, just like so. Putting pink on top. And last set. And then we're gonna embellish, like I said, with the I only have 3 of the little vintage Cupid hearts. I was looking to see if I had another Valentine's Day sign that would look better with that. I don't think that I do. There we go. Okay. So flipping, putting this one under the other. There is all of our ribbon tails and half bows. So all you see is this conglomeration of red in the center. Trying to put my chippy clip things away, and they just didn't want to clip onto the basket. So don't know what's up with that. Okay, so this is the sign that is going to go on our wreath. So it's going to be super cute, but there's a lot you don't want to cover up. So I think I'm going to be bringing this up, and I think we're going to be doing the bow down at the bottom, not at the top, because then the tails will want to hang down over the sign. So if I put the bow here and then direct the tails down, we can still see the sign. So let's make the bow. Let's grab all of our ribbon. So let's pull all these out and come up with colors. So I'm like, we have pink, red, pink, or do I want to go? I have to play with these ahead of time because otherwise, I think I like that combo for some reason. Pink, 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 and then the alternating colors. So I'm going to do that. All the ribbon was from Craft Outlet, but I can't tell you if it's still available. Meaning I don't know when I bought it. A lot of times I will buy, like if I go on Craft Outlet right now to buy Valentine's Day ribbon, the odds are I may use 1 or 2 rolls in a design, but most of it gets used in a design for next year. And so what you're hoping is that your wreaths become hard to duplicate because nobody else can replicate the ribbon combos that you're doing. So I'm measuring off 10 inches for my tail. I'm going to gather right here at the 10-inch line. I'm using the bow dabra. I'm going to twist, and then I'm going to tuck that twist right in the center. So I have right side here, wrong side fabric here. I'm just going to bring this up and around, and I want to measure out the ends of my tails so they're 5.5 inches long. So there is a seam that goes all the way down my bow dabra. I'm lining this up on the 10-inch line, and then I'm going to pull back until my ribbon ends at 5.5 inches, which is right there. I'm going to do that on the other side. And that just makes it so much easier to fluff because then I know that both of my loops and both of my tails are exactly the same length, the same width. And then we need to make sure we have 10 inches out, and then we're going to dovetail, which is take your wired edges, bring them together. Now, if you want a really deep V to your ribbon tail, wherever you come up on this folded side, your destination point is always going to be the same. It's this wired point. So figure out where you want it to go, and then that just shows you how deep that V is. Saves you from what I used to do, which is we cut in from one side of the ribbon and then cut in from the other and hope we meet somewhere in the middle. Little did I know a long time ago that there was a much easier way of doing that. Okay, now we're going to take our red hearts. Same thing, I always start and end with the dovetail. I've been doing this the same way for, I think this is going on 8 or 9 years. We're going to measure out 9.5 inches for the tail. Twist, place that back in the center. And now we're going for 5-inch loops. So you know the routine. Line up your bow dabra on the 10-inch mark, stretch it out. Does it end on 5? If it does, great. Do it on the other side the same way. Making sure. And then make sure we get our tail length out. 19.5. Dovetail the end. There's that one. And now we're going to go with the squiggly ribbon. Okay. Which is this one here. We're going to dovetail the end. We are measuring this one to 90 inches. Gather in. Twist, then we are going to do 4.5 inches is our loop length. So making sure we're at that length on either side. Back out 9 inches. Dovetail the end. And we're going to make sure that all gets situated back in there. It wants to pop back up because this ribbon is very stiff, meaning it has a really good tensile strength to the outside. So it wants to lift up, which is good for a wired ribbon. Okay, then we have our conversation heart. Hi, Mary Carol. Hi, Velma. Hi, Linda. Thanks for watching. We are doing now 8.5 inches for our tail length. Going up and around. And then these ones are also going to be 4.5 inches. So because we've already done it with that curly Q ribbon, we're just going to pull. I'm going to keep the lengths exactly the same. Meaning I'm just kind of like putting my finger in the bottom loop, in the top loop, and then I pull. And I make sure that everything is the same. And then back out 8.5. Just like so. And that one is in the bag. We're going to take our new Valentine's Day ribbon that has all things. I think it's called Valentine Icons. This one's going to be 8 inches long with a 4-inch loop. So it's basically white, pink, and red, or shades of those colors. So I'm just verifying I've got a 4-inch loop size, which is why you always see me bring it back. I'm measuring, and then I'm going to measure out 8 inches for our tail length. We will dovetail the end. And that one is done. I'm almost done with this ribbon. It is the only one I bought. Normally when I buy ribbon, I always buy 2 rolls. Because most of the time I always love the ribbon I get. So I'm always able to integrate it. Now this one, we have the print that goes horizontal. So I'm going to show you how to keep your horizontal print going in the same direction without you having to cut your ribbon, which so many people do. So our tail length is 7.5 inches. So I'm going to measure 7.5. I'm going to gather. I'm going to put this in, and here it looks nice. I've got the nice I love you going on. The minute I go up and around to measure out my loop for a 3.5 inch loop, you notice that now this is upside down and this is still right side up. Let me make sure we're at 3.5. So it's really simple. All you have to do is just, whichever way it feels it wants to twist, just flip it upside down. Then when you go to pull this side, measure. Do we have 3.5? And then we're going to measure out 7.5 inches for our tail. Everything is now all going in the same direction. You only have to twist one loop, and it's going to be your initial loop right at the beginning. And then that'll just put everything, and it only works on horizontal designs to keep them all going in the same direction. So just like that. So as you can see, all of the font, all the print is going in the right direction. I'm going to prepare a white pipe cleaner. We're going to lift this up, and I'm going to drop my pipe cleaner down right on the top. I'm going to hold and secure it right at the bottom, and then I'm just holding my pipe cleaner, but I'm twisting the whole stack of ribbon. And that'll tighten my pipe cleaner without me having to wrench my hands to do so. Then I'm going to take, this is just a 24-inch by 24-inch by 1-inch thick piece of lumber. It has a little C-hook that I put in the center. I was cleaning my shop today, so I took it out so I didn't bump it and bend it. So I'm just going to hook, it's got an open hook here, it's the little cup hook. It's going to hook right underneath my pipe cleaner, just like that. And then that kind of holds my ribbon in place. So, actually I want it to go this way. For a downward facing bow, we're going to pull all of our tails down. All the tails on both sides of the stack. Just pull them straight down. So here's a tail. Here's a tail. There's a tail. This one's trying to escape. And then we have this one at the bottom. So all of our tails are at the bottom. And then to fluff, we are just picking up the top one, actually the top two. And we're going to do a crisscross pattern right here. And then down here, I am going to crisscross the opposite direction. It just creates a nice visual difference. And then from here, you can decide, do you want the curlies on top or do you want the burgundy? I think I'm going to pull the curlies up. I'm going to put the burgundies right in the center. And then for here, we're going to go opposite. So we're going to bring our burgundy up and our curly cues in the center. And then for the ones at the bottom, I'm going to bring red up and leave the pink at the bottom. But down here, I'm going to bring pink up. And we're going to leave the red at the bottom. And so from here, you just want to fluff and position things so they wind up in the general direction you like. And then for the tails, those are super simple. You are just going to take your fingers and you are just going to pretend they're like scissors, and you're just going to run your fingers down the ribbon tails, and that'll put that curl back in them that it had from being on the roll. You'll do this even more once you have it on your wreath. And then if you're selling it, obviously staging is everything. So you want to make sure, you know, we can see all the things that you've done putting together, you know, your ribbon. So I'm kind of just displaying those for demo's sake. Just like that. So when you go and you shoot your photo for your ribbon, you have this gorgeous looking bow, right? You can use this on a tree, you can use it on mantles, you can use it on packages, whatever you want. We're going to pop this off. We're going to prep our sign and get that on our wreath. So there's a sticker on the back we want to remove. You don't have to, but I generally try to. And using this label scraper from Amazon, it just takes your label off, saves your manicure. It does have 2 holes at the top. You can use those, or you can opt to add additional holes. I'm thinking because we have it at the top, I think I'm going to be good, because even if it wants to do this, when we add the bow, it's going to push down the bottom and the top will be fine. So first things first, I'm going to add a business card to the back. I've had people ask me, why do you add a business card? Nobody can see it. You'd be surprised at how many of my customers know that if it's a wreath that they bought from me, it has all my information on it, so they don't have to save my business card. All they have to do is flip the wreath over and everything that they need is right there. So it's just for customer preference. I'm going to be using floral wire, and I'm going to take about 14 inches of 22 gauge floral wire. You can get a spool like this at Michael's. Well, thanks, Karen. She said that was a beautiful bow you made. So, okay. Rocio, is that right? Rocio? She said, all the ribbons are super cute, but I am obsessed with the red with the envelopes. And Debbie says, do you still teach the funky bow? I guess it kind of is in a way, but I use the funky bows on like my lantern swags or my florals. Just because funky bows are kind of like, you don't necessarily have to have perfect measurements on that. So I am making sure my wire is even. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to slowly twist the wire right over the hole. This keeps my wire to the back of the sign and not to the side or the front of the sign. So big difference. I'm not doing it out here, I'm doing it over here. And I'm actually overextending my wire so that we're twisting directly over the hole. And that helps your sign lay flat. Okay, now we're going to bring our wreath on over and kind of want it positioned right about there. Maybe a little higher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to redirect my floral wire down to where I want it to start, making sure that I have secured my floral wire between my rails. Now you're going to see me fight some of the curls, and you'll see why in a second. I'm just going to go ahead and twist once till I get this one situated where I want this. And I'm going to already end up having to pull this side off because it's not winding up even where I want it. So I kind of want it like that. Okay. Longer signs on Cruffles can pose a slight issue. So it's only 12 inches, but it's still up there. I'm going to go ahead and push it down to the level I want my sign to wind up. And I'm hoping I don't have to undo that again by pushing it. Nope, we're good. So I got to kind of get my wire all straightened out here so that we can get it to go where it should have gone the first time. I'm just making sure. So I'm going to pull. We're going to see this. It's going to kind of look like it's going to flip up, which is okay for now. I just want to get it anchored at the top. Right there. We're going to to do the same thing right here. What I'm going to do is my inside curls are going to stay to the inside, and my outside curls are going to go to the outside here. So I've got to readjust, because right now it wants to sit on top of everything that I have added, and I don't want it to. See how it needed to be told where to sit. You just need to stay there. And then we're going to pull these out. And then I need to get this one out. There we go. Making sure it winds up where it's supposed to be. Okay, now, sadly, guess what? If we don't move these, our bow's going to sit up here, which is going to be about 2 inches higher than our sign. So for now, I'm going to take everything and I'm just going to tuck till I get my bow in, and then I can go through and I can pull everything out of the way. So you can already see some of them are like, they're not going under long enough, and those are fine. Those are our outside ones, but I got to get the bow in first. So I want my bow to sit probably right about there. Thankfully, there's a pipe cleaner already there. So that should be really easy to anchor that down to. I think I went too far over. See, they're getting all hung up on the... I might have to go higher. Let me look. Yep, we're going to have to go slightly a little bit higher. I went too low. And wow, did I really go too low? I was like, I had grabbed so much of the frame that like I was grabbing rail 2. If you remember how I showed you how I determined those rail. I got to get my pipe cleaner to go straight again. Huh, that would help, Kat. Felt like it was straight, but it wasn't. Okay, it's in. And now I just want to come up one rail. So I want it on, I'll show you. I think I've got it on rail 1 and rail 2. Making sure. I did the same thing again. I had it on rail 2 and rail 3. Like, Lord, how in the heck did I manage to stretch it that far? No wonder why it was such a fight getting that to come down. And we can pull, like, the Deco mesh tubes that are wanting to fight. They're like, we need to come out. It's okay. Let them come out. We can just move those around. So now I'm stretching everything in its respective place. And I don't want this one to go too high. There we go. Fluff, fluff, fluff. I've got this one down so low. It was way below. So sometimes you just got to realign everything. You know, we could fluff it on the board and that's great and all, but until you get it on the wreath and you have to place it where it's got to go. You're going to end up fighting it a bit. And so I'm just reallocating some of my Deco mesh tubes. So that we can bring our bow back in alignment to where it needs to be. This is what happens too when you have a lot of satin ribbon that doesn't have an awful lot of tensile strength to it, meaning the wire's not thick. We're using a satin based finish, so it wants to fold in the center. It doesn't want to hold its shape. So we'll go through here. I'm going to readjust all my ribbon tails that we had messed up a bit on the outside. I'm going to pull these guys a little bit this way so I can have a home for that one. Just like that. Okay. Nice and pretty. Trying to get this one under. I want it more on the front. Okay. There you guys go. Everyone has to get situated. I think the reason why this one side is fighting me is because I went through one of my outside curls. So I'm just going to pull one side out and then tuck that back in. And now it should lay. Trying to make sure I get them on either side. And sometimes just small spaces, it's hard to get our hands in there. Because now I can pull this one up where this one just wanted to lay before. Okay, let me get that in. Okay. Everyone's got their perspective tail in. Got ribbons, 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 ribbons. Everything is where it needs to be. You guys know I'm going to be fighting that bow for a long time. It's just like this one curl just wants to pop right up, right in the middle of the bow. Okay, there we go. Everything is situated. Okay, from here, we're going to add our pick, our little, whatchamacallit, little red flower pick. So I'm going to cut this down. I think this came from Michael's. I want to just kind of like tuck it in up here, but it's actually going to go under. Let's see. I wanted it to kind of go right in here, like right over the stamp part, like that. I like that, but I gotta get rid of the stick. So I'm gonna go closer to the stick, and I'm just gonna actually stick our sign. Let's see, where does this tube go? Can we get this tube to act on our behalf? Sometimes it's like weird where we want to stick something. It should just be so easy, so basic to do that. Let me remove that. And now I see what they did. They didn't even make a perfect bow. They just kind of glued the ribbon to the bottom of that that heart so that it kind of became a little heart in of itself. So that's kind of where I want that to go. What do you guys think? There we go. That little white pipe cleaner was driving me crazy. So touch points, it's the heart in the bottom half here. So I am just adding my glue to this section, kind of right over the little stamp, just like so. And then let's go ahead and add some of those little vintage touches on this design. So I'm just maneuvering some things around on the bow so it lays where I want it to lay. Okay, those little hearts. So we can tuck these underneath the red, although they feel like they're a little heavy and a little big to me, and I don't want to cover up anything on the sign. Let's look at the little vintage ones, the little vintage Cupids. Those are so cute, and that's like too much to tuck in. Like even to do it here, I don't like that either. It's just too different. I was like looking to see if I had another one of those picks, but I don't think I want it to cover. So let me see. Can we add these to the outside? Let me look. If I add them to where the red is, I only have 3. So they would kind of go like that, but then this one gets missed. What if we do red, heart, here, heart. We could do that. What do you guys think? Let me look and see what else I have in my box. We could also add some of these. I have these too. These like little fun balls. Like we could put one there. I could tuck one down in here. Oop, they want my vintage heart. We can take another one. I think I have one more left. I do. We can tuck one down in here like that. Let me see. I like that. What do you guys think? Because I have even some red and white ones too. Like we could do a trio. So where those are, you could have like these things. So we wouldn't have that. And then we would have this over here. Like that is how they would work. That would be the trio. What do you think? Do you have something pink to put inside the red mesh? So that's what I was looking at. I'm not really sure I like these. So let me take the reds out and just add they're kind of like red and white balls. Cheryl says, I love the vintage hearts. Yeah, but when I put them in, it just seems like if I replace it with the vintage hearts, let's see. Let me go here, here, and the one that would go here. We have that. Right, Valerie? See, I like the balls too. That for me, like when I add these, they're such like an off-white cream color. They almost look yellow. So like that, and like that. Which is perfect because that's what I have as far as that goes. Because those are what I brought out. Thinking, okay, that's what I can use. Let's go ahead and glue those in. And then we can put it up on the door for the world to see. Okay, touch point. I'm just using the little ornament thing at the bottom. Glue, glue, glue. Right here at the bottom. Then we're going to nestle one in right here, which will help hold the sign in at the bottom, because I'm going to push it right down inside there. Spin it over here. Same one here. And we're going to tuck this one way inside. Okay. There we go. I wanted to keep my sign even. All right, let's flip you up. Hello, world. Okay, we're going to swap this one out for the one we just made. I'm making sure I don't have... I have glue threads, but I'll find them easy on the door. So this is what it looks like on that door. Okay, I need to reglue him. But let's fix this for photos. So for photos, you kind of want to bring your ribbon tails forward so that we can see all the ribbon underneath. Remove your glue threads. Make sure all of your ribbon is nice and crisp. Your points are nice and pretty. Everything is not folded down. It's folded out. So trying to get that one to go out, out, just like so. And here's my last little glue thread. So there is our design. Bring this up. And there you have it. Sorry, I was in the way, so you guys couldn't really see what we were doing, but there you have it. What do you think? Okay, Cheryl said the same thing. I love the hearts, but like the balls better. Like the balls, so pretty. Valerie says, gorgeous wreath. Thank you so much. And like I said, I will get this listed so that it is available for purchase. We can even tuck the ribbons up if we wanted, so we can actually see like that. That says special delivery the 14th. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for joining me. I know we went a little bit long, but that's Cruffles for you. So thank you. Rosie has said stunning. Debbie said very pretty. Thank you guys for joining me. And trust me, Friday's design you're not going to want to miss. It's an everyday design. It's a custom order. But I thought it was super fun, so I want to show you. So not Friday, Thursday. Thursday at 2. We're moving. Thursday at 2 instead of Friday at 5. We're doing Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific, which is 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern time. There will be a replay available. And that should take care of all of the things that I have to share with you. There's a close-up on the wreath for you guys. And thanks for joining me. And I will talk to you soon. Bye for now, everyone.